What is the hard problem of consciousness? What if the hard problem of consciousness starts much smaller than a brain, but at the level of a single cell? Not as poetry, but as chemistry. Here's the change. A cell isn't passive, but it is an observer. It reads the world through receptors. It translates that reading into metabolism. It stores a memory of what it learned. That translation, from out there to in here, might be the biological root of what it is like to feel. Step 1. The first stimulus. On the surface of the cell, receptors sit in a delicate equilibrium, balanced between states. A stimulus binds and shifts the receptor equilibrium, a hormone, a nutrient, or a photon. That tiny shift isn't just on-off, it includes an interpretation. The receptor's shape changes, and that shape carries information into the cell. Step 2. The cell's internal metabolism has meaning. Inside, the signal plugs into a switchboard of chemical pathways. If insulin lands, the cell says, build, glucose flows in. If epinephrine knocks, the cell says, mobilize. Cyclic A, M, P rises. Step 3, learning by chemistry. The receptors and enzymes flip states like light switches, on or off. But later, the cell's inner metabolism edits itself with internal biochemical changes. That rewrite is a memory trace, a durable record of how this stimulus changed the cell. If the cell encounters the same stimulus again, the response is sharper, biased by history. Step 4. A cell has many ways of seeing. Plants see light with phytochromes. They pivot from darkness growth to CO2 harvesting. Bacteria feel glucose scarcity. They boost cyclic A, M, P, and search for new fuel. Amoebae detect extracellular cyclic A, M, P. They sync the colony and move as one toward a goal. Same logic, different worlds. Step 5. When the senses fail, reality breaks. Silencing a person's NMDA receptors and the brain's internal model fractures. This creates psychosis and loss of awareness. If a person has no cone photoreceptors, they only see a world colored by gray. If a person's LDL receptors are blocked, their cells become metabolically blind and begin starving amid abundance. If a person's nicotinic receptors are blocked, they become paralyzed. Receptors don't just detect reality, they co-create it. So, what's the hard problem here? It's the biological translation. External signals turned into internal metabolism that accumulates as memory. That's what it is like. It isn't a ghost. It's a running summary of learned metabolic shifts. A lived history inscribed in the cell's internal biochemistry. And this is why today's AI feels different. Silicon can compute patterns, but it doesn't have receptors tied to survival or metabolism that rewires itself with stakes. For a cell, a signal isn't data, it's awareness, adaptation, and survival.